I want to emphasize this too. Okay, like it's impossible to avoid the internet. The internet's going to be a part of the game. You can't have everything ever changing constantly. Like you can't be moving the runes around all the time. I don't know. That just seems weird to
Yeah,
me.
no, that would just be like annoying at that point, honestly.
Yeah. But what you can do is control the game. Like I really feel like World of Warcraft, they have no control over the game because an add-on completely changes the way everyone plays. I can look at how someone else playing the game. It looks like a completely different game than what I play because I play with almost no add-ons. But I even played without deadly boss mods for a while.
I was about to say,
I'm not
no,
even
wait,
get into that.
Dude, I was gonna say at this point they kind of expect you to have it. Definitely the difficulty of the raids in that game are definitely expecting you to have add-ons to help you know how to beat the boss. They fully expect you to have it. Otherwise, you can't.
I'll
beat
explain
the boss.
it. Yeah, I'll explain how crazy that is, that it's even allowed, right?
Yeah, this is by the way massive like potholes that Riot has to look out for in their MMO. Dude, I hope
yeah, because you can't fix it. It's a pothole that cannot be patched.
It's a one-way street. Yeah. Once you go down that road, you can't go back. Riot, please do not do this. But yeah, explain this massive issue with most MMOs.
Okay. 2x KO is a fighter, right? We're just fighting each other, whatever. Me and you are fighting in a game, right? But let's say that I download add-ons which add a layer of let's make it even simpler. There's Counter-Strike, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you can get an add-on for that game that will show you players through walls. That is an advantage,
you
right?
can just see everyone. Yeah, no matter where they are. Yep.
Exactly. Okay. Now, in World of Warcraft, that's like, oh yeah, everyone should download that add-on so you can see the mobs through the walls. Because otherwise you're an idiot. You won't know when to come out around the corner so you can, CC or whatever. Versus in this game, it's considered cheating. I think it's to that level. Like, I think add-ons in World of Warcraft are cheating.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, so like in any other game, let's say you're playing like a single player RPG. You can download all the stinking mods you want, and I couldn't care less. Right? Like, you can download a mod that just instantly gives you 999 stats on your character in this RPG that you're playing by yourself. That's perfectly fine. But, or you can just like, not have the mods and play normally, whatever. The problem is when you're in an MMO, you have other people relying on you, right? When you're in a dungeon or a raid, it's not just your success or failure, it's the group's success or failure. So if you're not using the add-ons to make the dungeon or raid easier for yourself, you're holding the whole team back, which is just kind of like rude, Yep. So that's a big issue with MMOs, is that min-maxing in general is kind of expected at some point. If you want to actually play the game on a somewhat competitive level, if you want to actually push your character, then you're expected to download these add-ons, and it's not just for you, it's for everyone. You're affecting other players when you're playing competitively. So you need to have these add-ons.
And they remove add-ons in competitive, like when you're playing an arena competitively on, the PvP, like the actual scene, when they're competing, you can't have any add-ons. But they do allow the race to world first. Yeah, you're not allowed to have any add-ons.
Wow.
Because it gives you an unfair advantage. But then the race to world first, they allow add-ons.
What?
It makes no sense. Yeah, it makes no sense to me.
That's even worse than arena, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Dude,
I consider it cheating. It should not be even considered. Like, add-ons in the game should not be allowed. It shouldn't be allowed in 2xKO. It's not allowed in League of Legends. It's not allowed in Legends of Runeterra. Like, you should not have an add-on that looks at the player's cards in Legends of Runeterra. Obviously, people can program something outside of that. There's always people that will find a way.
Oh, there's gonna be tools outside of the game. Yeah.
Yeah. But imagine if Legends of Runeterra, you could download an add-on that literally Riot themselves help you port into the game, that looks at the player's cards, it'll predict the deck that they're building and recommend based on your cards which card to play.
Yeah.
Now that game is boring. If you don't
use that, you're at a disadvantage because chances are the other person's using it.
You're gonna lose. I'm sorry, no one can beat a computer. Like, at the end of the day, freaking what they do, they like trained a computer on StarCraft. This was years and years and years ago.
Oh yeah.
I was watching a video on it like last week that they trained a computer on StarCraft, and eventually the machine got so good that it just started training versus itself because humans weren't good enough anymore to like challenge it, and so it just trained on itself to the point where you cannot beat it.
Yeah, just optimize itself into oblivion.
Yeah.
I want to watch that. Actually, it sounds amazing. But
people are competing against AI in the real world. I don't want to do it in the game. Okay.
Seriously, I didn't even think about the power of AI and add-ons. Oh my god, Riot better not allow add-ons. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Actually, I think so. I know Final Fantasy 14. I'm pretty sure they do allow add-ons, but they don't allow damage meters because they say it's toxic to have damage meters, which I think is funny.
Who says that?
The devs behind Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't allow damage meters in Final Fantasy 14. They'll ban you over it if they find out you're using them. Because I guess they're all World of Warcraft players, by the way. Like they based Final Fantasy 14 heavily off of World of Warcraft, and it shows. But yeah, obviously damage meters are going to some extent. You're gonna see who's doing the lowest damage if you're not getting past a boss. You're probably gonna call them out or just kick them from the group outright. So I can see how it leads to some toxicity. But at the same time, I can't imagine playing the game without damage meters.
You need it. You shouldn't baby players.
As a raid leader, I think you need it, right? Because you don't want to waste people's time doing the same boss over and over again. You can't find out what the problem is. Turns out this guy's spamming one spell over and over. He's holding the group back. Like, so at that point, I'm like, please just like innately put damage meters in the game, Riot. Like, if you're gonna do competitive dungeons and raiding and PvP, please just already have damage meters in the game. Because that's like a requirement, especially if you're a leader of a group.
At the end of a boss fight, I think that during the fight, you don't need to see anything. But at the end of the fight, it should show like, oh, who did the most damage, who CC'd stuff, this person CC'd this, you know, like whatever, some log or something like that.
Like a log of what's happening.
Yeah. That's cool. And that provides, and you cannot baby the player. Like at the end of the day, people are going to be trying to push for something that's pretty difficult. And that's what's rewarding, is when you're pursuing something difficult. And when you're doing that, you do have to like fine tune stuff. Like, you have to tell this person like, oh, you know, you're not CCing this. This has to be CC'd. If you don't have the information and they're saying they're CCing it or whatever, then you have to go with what they say. And now it's like creating even more problems just because you're trying to bubble wrap all your players. Don't bubble wrap them. Just people are going to fight. It's fine. It's part of the world. Everyone's playing together. It's going to happen.
Dude. And you're going to have player interaction, which means you're going to see the good and the bad. But I personally think the good way outweighs the bad.
100%. Trust the community.
Yeah, trust the community to solve their own problems. I always say that, dude. That's the whole point of like GMs versus, you know, having bots that ban stuff. GM is basically just the teacher that'll sit back and let the kids play at recess until something goes wrong. That the teacher needs to come in and fix. Otherwise, let the kids figure out their own stuff.